Hello, in this video we're going to solve more than two steps equations. So here's an example of one. First of all, I'm going to remind you the steps that you will use in order to solve a more than two steps equation. So the first step will be solve parentheses. This step you don't even need to remember because as always in math you solve parentheses first. So that's the first thing you're going to do, solve parentheses. And I'm going to write if here because if there are any parentheses, which we do have in this equation, so we will have that first step. The second step will be add like terms. And again, I'm going to write if there are any like terms to add on either side of the equation, which we will also have like terms in this equation. Number 3 will be put all your x's on one, or all your variables on one side of the equation. And I'm going to again write if because this is if you have x's on both sides of the equation. And as you can see in this equation, you only have x's or variables on the left side. So you won't do this third step in this equation. No matter what, if you follow these 3 steps, you will end up with a 2-step equation and sometimes even a 1-step equation. Okay, so let's start solving this equation. First, we're going to do the first step, which is parentheses first. So we're going to solve this parentheses using, as always, distributive property with the number that I have in front of the parentheses, which is positive 2. So 2 times x is 2x. Then 2 times negative 5 would be negative 10. Then I have the negative 5x equal sign 23. Okay, I am done with step 1. Second step, add like terms if there are any. I do have like terms on the left side. 2x and negative 5x are like terms. So if I add 2 and negative 5 different signs, I need to subtract and keep the sign of the higher number. That would be negative 3. Negative 3 what? X, because I'm adding x's. And then I have this negative 10 there left that I'm going to write. On the right side, I don't have any like terms. I only have a 23. So I'm just going to write the 23. I'm done with step number 2. Step number 3, all x's on one side or all variables on one side if you have them on both sides. But I'm going to skip that step. I don't need to do it because as you can see, I only have variables on the left side of the equation. And as I said before, with these steps, you end up with a 2-step equation. Why is this a 2-step equation? Because in order to leave x by itself on the left side of the equation, since it's already on the left side, I need to get rid of the negative 3 and the negative 10. I need to get rid of 2 numbers that will require from me 2 steps. So this is a 2-step equation. As always, the question is, which one do I start with? The negative 3 or the negative 10? As always, you start with the one that is farthest away from your variable and with the opposite sign. So if it's a minus 10, I will use the opposite operation. I will add exactly the number I'm trying to get rid of, which is 10. With this, I can cancel those 10, and all I have left on the left side is the negative 3x, and on the right side, I have 23 plus 10, which is 33. Now, in order to leave x by itself, I need to get rid of the negative 3, which is multiplying the x. So the opposite operation will be divide. Divide by what? Divide by exactly the number I'm trying to get rid of, which is -3. I'm not trying to get rid of 3 only. I'm trying to get rid of that 3, but with the negative that is in front. So I will divide both sides by -3. With this, I can cancel -3 with -3, and I have x is equal to 33 divided by 3, which is 11, and a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So my answer is -11. X is equal to -11. Let's go to the next example. I have an equation here. It's a little bit longer equation, but anyway, I will use the same exact steps. So, first step, parentheses, solve parentheses, if you have any. Step 2, add like terms. If you have any like terms to add. Step 3, put all your variable or your x's on one side of the equation if you have them on both sides of the equation, and that will take me to a 2-step equation if I do follow all of those 3 steps. So let's start. My first step is parentheses. I do have parentheses, so I will do that first. On the left side, I need to do this parenthesis, so I will do distributive property with the -4. On the right side, I will do distributive property with the 3 in order to get rid of those parentheses. So -3x, now I start with the distributive property. -4 times 4x would be -4 times 4 is 16, and x. Then I have -4 times -8, and negative times a negative is a positive. 8 times 4 is 32. Then I have 3 times -8x. So positive times a negative, it's a negative. 8 times 3 is 24x. Then the 3 times the -1, that would be -3. So I'm done with the first step. I need to go to the next step. Add like terms if you have any like terms to add. Here I'm going to look separately, just like I did with the parentheses. I solve this side first, and then I solve the parentheses of this side. Same thing with the like terms. I'm going to see if I have any like terms in this side, and I'm going to add it, and then I'm going to look if I have any like terms here on this side, and if so, I will add them. Okay, so let's look at the left side first. I do see that -3x and -16x, those two are like terms. So 3 and 16 is 19. Same sign, so I need to add and keep the sign. I was adding x's, so 19x. Then plus 32, because this one I don't have anything to add it with. Equal sign. On the right side, as you can see, I only have these two terms, and they are not like terms, these two. So I will just rewrite that because there's nothing to add. Okay, I'm done with step 2. Step 3, put all your x's on one side if you have them on both sides, which is the case here. Okay, I can either bring or eliminate the -19x from the left side and bring it to the right side, or the other way around. Okay, what I will do is to eliminate this -24x in order to have all the x's on the left side. How am I going to do that? As always, with the opposite operation. So to get rid of a -24, I need exactly the opposite, a +24. But a +24x, because that's what I'm trying to get rid of, the 24x. I don't want that on the right side. But I need to do it as always on both sides. So here I have different signs. So I need to subtract the 24 and the 19 and keep the sign of the higher number. If I subtract 24 and 19, I get 5, and the sign of the higher number is this positive. So positive 5, I don't even need to write that. So 5x plus 32, and this will be equal to minus 24x plus 24x. That cancels each other. And all I have left is a negative 3. This negative 3 on the right side. So now, as I said, once I finish these 3 steps, I end up here with a 2-step equation. And what I have here, it is a 2-step equation because if to leave x by itself, I need to get rid of the 5 and the plus 32. And with that, I will have x by itself on the left side, and I would have solved the equation. And to get rid of those 2 steps will take me, to get rid of those 2 numbers, will take me 2 steps. So, which one do I start getting rid of? The 5 or the 32? As always, I start with the one that is farthest away from my variable, so I start with the 32. I have a positive 32, a plus 32, so I'm going to subtract 32 on both sides. Why did I do that? Because I want to cancel this. 32 minus 32 is 0. I don't want to have that 32 there. So all I have left now on the left side is that 5x. And on the right side, I have negative 3 and negative 32. Same sign, so I need to add and keep the sign. 32 and 3 is 35, and keep the sign. I am going to continue here because I don't have enough space. 5x is equal to negative 35. Okay, now I need to get rid of this 5, which is multiplying the x. So to get rid of it, I will do the opposite operation with exactly, so the opposite operation is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by exactly the number I'm trying to get rid of. The 5, I'm trying to get rid of that positive 5. So that's why now I can cancel the 5 with the 5. And I have that x is 35 divided by 5, which is 7. And a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So my answer is a negative 7. X is equal to negative 7. As I said, by doing these 3 steps, if you are careful and do all of those 3 steps, you end up with a 2-step equation, which is something really easy to solve. And I do have a video on how to solve 2-step equations. Well, I hope you like this video and see you on the next one. Bye.